everybody,
and welcome to Monday Sunday School, where we're going to continue learning about love and kindness. Let's first start with kindness. We hope you've had a chance to cut out some red kindness cards and write down some wonderful kind things that you've been working on at home. There's a few new ones that we've added to Alexis's. So Alexis was very kind to Polly and very gentle as well. And Alexis brought Mommy some water without even being asked. Alexis loves to serve Mommy and Daddy her fancy fruit platters. And she likes to put peeling oranges and cutting up some apples and putting them all pretty on a plate, right? And then she'll bring it to Mommy and Daddy. So yes, she's been very, very kind. So we're going to show you a little later how we're going to put those kindness cards up to make the red bow of the rainbow. And we'd love to hear how you all have been being kind as well, if you'd like to share that in the comments. So here's our kindness verse. Can you read to us? We're in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32.
And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you.
Very good. And there's a song to that one too. Let's share the song, okay? Come here, Paul. Polly wants to share this song too. Ready? You go share the song? And be kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. And we hope you all are working on kindness at home. Now, speaking of kindness, kindness and love kind of go hand in hand, don't they? Because when you're kind, you're loving. When you're loving, you're kind. So our verse that we're going to focus on today for love is all about God's love. And God's love is the greatest love we'll ever have. So would you read to us John 3:16?
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish and have everlasting life.
Very good. And that's probably the most famous verse in all of the Bible, isn't it? And so today we're actually going to make a little Valentine, or you could call it a little poster, that is going to take that verse and kind of just write it out kind of neat with the word Valentine. And we hope that you were able to send out some Valentines to people that you love and to some people who maybe needed a little extra cheering up this time of year, right? So we sent out lots of Valentines, didn't we? We had a whole stack. So we did some, and if you'd like to see, on our page we also have how we did the heart doily ones, where we cut out the different drawings and put them in. And we also have some where we made origami owls. So there's a couple different Valentine ideas, and it's not too late, even though Valentine's Day was yesterday, it's not too late to still share some love and send some love out. So you can still make Valentines and send those out, because a Valentine is basically just a letter of love, isn't it? And you can give those out anytime. So let's get going on our craft today. All right, so we're actually going to use 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. I had a couple that I made earlier with hearts that you can cut out. Now, as you can see, we're actually taking the word Valentine, and then we're writing out the Bible verse, John 3:16. There's a couple variations that I kind of played around with that we're going to work on. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to take, I liked using two different colors, like a red and a pink. You could choose any two colors, red, purple, whatever colors you would like. And we're actually going to space out the word Valentine. So in order to do that, we have to count how many letters are in Valentine. So Alexis, can you count how many letters are in Valentine? 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So we have 9 in Valentine, but if you notice, I have a line up here and a line up here and even down here too. So 11, 12, so let's say 12. So in order to make sure that we don't end up running out of room, you want to picture 12. And if we divide in half, you're going to do 6 lines on the upper half and 6 lines on the lower half. And if we figure that out, so let's kind of keep our little marker here. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about one little fingerprint is about the size of our line, and that'll help kind of gauge, because I'm going to need to write a little smaller, because if you notice, this is bigger. So I'm going to have to write just a little bit smaller on here. So we're going to start by writing the word Valentine, and we're going to alternate the colors. So the way I do it is I actually take both the lids off. Usually I would not recommend keeping the lids off of your markers, but since we're going back and forth so quickly with our colors, this is the easiest way to do it. So we'll go ahead and start with, we're leaving a little space up here for the for God. And then we're going to write out V, A, and you can wait just a minute if you want to, honey, and use these colors. L, E, N, T, I, N, E. And that's good because it actually gave us space to write life and to write the reference down there. So I'm going to pass these on to you, Alexis, so you can write your Valentine. And then I'm going to show everyone how to write the words out. Now you can do them all in printing, but I kind of thought it was fun to write the for God up in the corner in cursive and then work on all of these in printing. So if you do want to do cursive, you can. If not, you can just spell it out with your printing, because it's pretty easy to spell. It's F-O-R, and then God, you gotta make sure you capitalize it, G-O-D. And then when you're working on writing the verse, we're actually gonna start at the letter that's in Valentine and work our way backwards. Otherwise, our spacing is going to be off. So this is going to say so loved. So this is the V in the middle of the word loved. So we're going to work our way backwards and write O-L, make a little space, and then O-S. It feels a little bit weird writing backwards. I'll tell you that right now. Now we're going to continue on in spelling our word loved with E-D. So here we go. For God so loved. We're also going to add in the world over here. For God so loved the world. And writing out Bible verses is a great way to memorize them as well. It kind of gives you just another outlet to be able to memorize them better. So we have, for God so loved the world. Then we're going to write that he gave his. So this A is going to be in the middle of gave. So we're actually going to work backwards again. G. And if you want to, you can add in your VE to complete the word. That's the word gave. Now we still need to fit in he and that ahead. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a space and then kind of give us 1, 2. And we want to do capital H because it's talking about God. And then the word that is 4 letters. So we're going to have 1 space and then kind of count back 1, 2, 3, 4. That. So for God so loved the world that he gave, we're also going to put the word his on this side. His. Now the letter L is an easy one. We're only going to write the word only. But we're going to go backwards. So we're going to put N and then O. Finish it off with a Y. E is also pretty easy. It's just one word, begotten, and we're only going to put the B in front of it. And Alexis was asking too, like, well, what does begotten mean? And that's a great question because it's not a term we use a lot. Begotten just means, because we are all the children of God, but Jesus was the only one begotten, or actually that was birthed from God. And then son, N is just going to be son, and it's going to be capital S because we're talking about the son, Jesus. And then this we're going to turn into that, and then with the whosoever next to it. Now, that has 2 T's in it, but this is going to be the ending T in the word that. So we're going to work our way back. A, H, and T, that. And then we're going to write whosoever over here. Whosoever. And then on this line, we're going to write believeth in him. So this is actually going to turn into the word in, I-N. And then we're going to write believeth right in front of the word in. So this is going to be a little bit tricky because believeth is a long word. But if you make a little space here, and it's actually better to have too much space than not enough, because if you get too close smushed into your I, it's going to end up being believeth in, all one word. So I would recommend kind of starting almost all the way at the edge, or you can work your way backwards. You can write HTE. That is a little bit trickier. But if you just kind of make a little imaginary line all the way to the edge and start your B over here, it'll be easier to write a long word like believeth not going backwards, because I did try doing it backwards and it did work out, but I thought this might be kind of tricky for everyone to do. So if you can see, there's a little bit too big of a space there, but better to have too big of a space than not enough. So believeth in him, capital H, and then should not perish. So this N is going to go for the word not, and I'm capitalizing it just because I like to emphasize that. And the word should is going to go before that. So again, we'll make our little space and we'll kind of count back. Should is 6 letters. So we'll kind of count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll start the word should here. And if you want to, you can actually write all your letters in pencil. So that way you can actually erase. If you find, oh no, I'm getting too close, you can erase it. Should not, and then perish. And then after perish, we have a comma. So should not perish, comma. This is going to be the E in everlasting. So we're going to write but have on this side, and this is going to be the word everlasting. So since we're doing 2 words, we're going to actually kind of start a little bit kind of in between where believeth and should would be. So we're going to start but have, and then everlasting. Everlasting. And then since I started off in cursive with the for God, I kind of wanted to end in cursive as well. So I'm going to make my life in cursive. Now, when we are quoting the Bible, you're actually going to use quote marks. We've actually just been learning about direct quotations in our 3rd grade curriculum. And then you can write John 3:16 in the middle. I kind of like to write it to the right-hand side a little bit. Now, when I did the heart shape, I did it in the middle just because there was an indent there. So this is John 3:16. And you can even make a little hyphen or a little swirl to show that. And then you can also use those same colors you had, or you can even put stickers around it. But I like to kind of decorate it with some hearts as well. So I'm just going to do a couple little random hearts kind of all around the page. And you could even draw world by world if you wanted to. You could use heart stickers. You could use like even some jewels would be kind of pretty. They have all sorts of different kinds of sticker jewels. And again, if you wanted to do this on a heart, I wouldn't use an 8.5 by 11 paper to make a heart. These were actually made by 12 by 12 papers because the heart would you need a lot of space to write this. And you can write it smaller as well. But there you have it. There's the John 3:16 written with the word Valentine in the middle.
Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo.
I love you.
Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo.
I love you.
I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo.
I love you. I really mean it. I love you. We'll see you next time. I love you. You. Boo boo be doo. Yeah. Well, thank you for that lovely ending, Miss Piggy, and for all our little monkey puppet friends too. We hope that you are encouraged to be kind and to spread loving kindness to everyone. Let God fill you up so that you can share that love with everyone. Let's end in a prayer. Dear Jesus, we thank you so much for your love and for dying on the cross for us and showing us the ultimate power of love. I pray that you fill us up with love so we can share that love with other people. We love you, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Bye, everybody.